It'd be fun if I did a little build of what we actually prepare before we head to work, including perforating the sump basin, assembling the primary sump pump, drilling the holes for the discharge pipe, getting the gravel together, that kind of basic stuff.
First thing we're going to do is use a 1/2-inch bit and perforate the basin. And we drill holes vertically every 3 inches and horizontally every 3 inches. It's a little bit larger of a hole than you'll find in a purchased perforated basin, but we find it works best. We leave the bottom 6 inches of the basin and the bottom itself clear of holes to ensure some water stays in the basin. Next step is the primary sump pump. You can see I've already put on the purpose-built brick, just glues on with 2-sided tape. This keeps any sediment or other junk from getting into our impellers. Do a quick check on it, we'll plug it in and test it. Just make sure that there's airflow coming through and the pump works properly. Next step is to take some Teflon tape and a 1.5-inch male adapter. Do about 4 or 5 rounds. And a little trick I use here is I use the edge of the Teflon tape to cut in the first couple threads to make it easier to thread in. Once it's in by hand, do a couple of turns by wrench and it should be tight enough. I also like to pull off any excess Teflon just so it looks nicer. Now we use Schedule 40 PVC for our discharge pipes. The piece I use is 22 inches long as it sticks up only a few inches above the basin lid. Now this nifty tool here by Reed is called a chamfering tool, and this can be used for 1.25 to 4-inch nominal size pipe. And it snaps right on the end here, and it actually cuts in a really clean bevel on the pipe, making it easier to insert and better on the glue. We prime all of our PVC pipes. You can use either the purple or clear. I like the purple myself. And then we're going to use a transition PVC to ABS solvent for this first joint. When you do the insertion, make sure you give it a good quarter turn and clean off any excess glue. Now that the pump's assembled, we're going to place it inside of the basin. Next up is a sump basin lid. I like to measure from the edge 4 3/4 inches, gives my pump a good location and ensures that the float switch doesn't get stuck. Using a 2 1/4-inch hole saw, drill your hole for your discharge pipe. Now that the hole is drilled, place it over top of your discharge pipe, and we're going to use the bolts that are provided to secure the lid here. Next up is a check valve. We use a Liberty Pumps QCV 150, which is the quiet check valve series. It's cool too because it's clear plastic. It has compression fittings, which makes it really easy installation and access for service. And we're finished.